"You can't just take my car," she exclaimed, her voice rising in protest. Vern remained calm. "Says here you left it in someone else's garage, without permission." She waved a printed copy of my post in his face. "This isn't legal. You can't give away my property." "I didn't give anything away," I said flatly. "You broke in, parked it here, and left it. That's trespassing." Linda, a longtime resident known for her fierce dedication to her home, found herself at odds with me, a newcomer eager to make my mark. The conflict ignited over a seemingly innocuous property line dispute, but it quickly escalated into a dramatic confrontation that would test the very fabric of our community. As whispers spread among neighbors, the stakes grew higher, revealing deep-seated issues of personal boundaries and the struggle for ownership, not just of land, but of identity within the neighborhood. As I stepped into the garage, a wave of disbelief washed over me. There, parked nonchalantly among my tools and boxes, was Linda's SUV, an unfamiliar vehicle that seemed to loom larger than life. The sleek exterior and vibrant color felt like an unwelcome intruder in my personal space, a stark reminder of the growing tension between us. I blinked, half expecting the SUV to vanish, but it remained a tangible symbol of Linda's casual disregard for boundaries. The air thickened with unspoken words as I recalled our recent disagreements, each one a thread weaving into this moment of confrontation. Linda, seemingly unfazed, strolled into the garage with an air of nonchalance, as if claiming ownership of the space without a second thought. Her casual demeanor only heightened my frustration, igniting a simmering anger within me. This unexpected invasion of my territory marked a turning point, setting the stage for a confrontation that neither of us could ignore. The tension crackled in the air, foreshadowing the inevitable clash that was about to unfold. The moment I locked eyes with Linda in the garage, emotions surged like a tidal wave. "What are you doing with your SUV in my space?" I demanded, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and disbelief. Linda shrugged, her expression casual, as if the invasion of my territory was a trivial matter. "Oh, come on, it's just a garage," she replied dismissively, her tone dripping with entitlement. "This isn't just any garage, it's my garage," I insisted, stepping closer, determined to reclaim my space. She rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting," she shot back, a smirk playing on her lips. I glanced at her wrist and saw something that made my blood run cold, a key dangling from a lanyard. "You used a key? How did you even get one?" "Oh, that?" "I made a copy. Gave the kid painting your fence $20 to duplicate it. Easier than bothering you." I stared, stunned. "You bribed a teenager to make a copy of my house key?" "Don't be dramatic," she said, waving me off. "It's just a few bins. Temporary. You're acting like I moved in." This wasn't just about a car. It was a violation, and the dismissiveness with which he justified it made my skin crawl. I took a deep breath, suppressing the urge to yell, and snap photos of her car, the license plate, the bins, and the bag on my workbench. I needed proof. Then, feeling cornered and frustrated, I decided to take to social media, crafting a post that detailed Linda's recent invasion of my garage. With a few clicks, I shared a photo of her SUV parked in my space, accompanied by a heartfelt message about respect and boundaries. To my surprise, the post quickly gained traction, resonating with neighbors who had witnessed the escalating tensions. Comments flooded in, with many expressing their support and sharing similar experiences with Linda's dismissive attitude. The post went viral within the community, sparking heated discussions and drawing attention to the growing conflict. As likes and shares multiplied, I felt a surge of empowerment, believing I was rallying the neighborhood against Linda's perceived entitlement. However, what began as a plea for solidarity soon spiraled into a full-blown neighborhood conflict. Friends turned into factions, and the once peaceful community found itself divided. I realized that my attempt to reclaim my space had ignited a firestorm, transforming a personal dispute into a public spectacle that would change the dynamics of our neighborhood forever. As the tension in the neighborhood reached a boiling point, Vern arrived on the scene, a burly figure with a no-nonsense demeanor that commanded attention. Known for his role as the local tow truck driver, he was a man of few words but immense authority, often called upon to resolve disputes over parking and property. Today, he was tasked with removing Linda's SUV-aided development that sent ripples of excitement through the community. I watched from a distance, a sense of satisfaction swelling within me as I anticipated the confrontation. Linda, her expression a mix of disbelief and anger, stormed up to Vern, demanding to know why he was there. Her frustration boiled over as Vern backed his trailer into position, unfazed by her yelling. The tension exploded as neighbors began gathering, phones out, some recording, and then came the arrival that changed everything. As the situation escalated, the sheriff arrived to assess the unfolding drama, his presence adding a layer of seriousness to the conflict. He surveyed the scene, taking note of Linda's SUV parked defiantly in my garage. With a keen eye, the sheriff began to evaluate the legal implications of Linda's actions, particularly her blatant trespassing. Emboldened by the community's support, I presented evidence, photos of the SUV in my space, along with timestamps and footage from my security camera showing Linda unlocking my garage and waving at the camera. The sheriff listened intently, nodding as he pieced together the narrative of entitlement and invasion. As he explained the legal ramifications of Linda's actions, the community rallied behind me, their solidarity palpable. Neighbors gathered, sharing their own experiences and voicing their support, reinforcing my stance. The sheriff's authoritative presence shifted the dynamics, making it clear that Linda's behavior would not be tolerated. The community's backing, combined with law enforcement's intervention, marked a turning point, and I felt a renewed sense of hope that justice would prevail in this escalating neighborhood conflict. The atmosphere in the HOA meeting was thick with tension as residents gathered, eager to address the escalating conflict surrounding Linda. I stood at the front, heart racing, ready to present the evidence I had meticulously gathered. As I displayed photos of Linda's SUV parked in my garage, murmurs rippled through the crowd. Neighbors exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of disbelief and support for my plight. The community's reaction was palpable. Many voiced their frustrations about Linda's behavior, recounting their own experiences of her dismissive attitude. As I laid out the timeline of events, detailing how Linda had repeatedly overstepped boundaries, the room buzzed with agreement. Then I played the security footage, the smirk, the key, the bins, and the room fell into stunned silence. The HOA board listened intently, weighing the evidence against Linda's actions. After a heated discussion, the outcome was announced. Linda would face a suspension from the HOA, a consequence that sent shockwaves through the room. The community erupted in applause, celebrating a moment of accountability. For me, it was a bittersweet victory, knowing that justice had been served, but also recognizing the deep divisions that had formed within our once harmonious neighborhood. Following the HOA meeting, the legal repercussions for Linda became increasingly severe as her actions were exposed. The sheriff filed charges against her for trespassing and property damage, citing her blatant disregard for my rights. The community's response was swift and unified. Neighbors who had once been hesitant to speak out now rallied together, sharing their own grievances about Linda's behavior. She used a stolen key, I said, parked in my garage, called me dramatic when I confronted her. The board voted immediately. Linda was suspended. The fallout was swift. The sheriff filed charges. The HOA audit committee unearthed worse. Spa days billed as board stress relief, fake vendor payments, violation forms pre-signed. Linda had turned the HOA into her piggy bank. Vern called that night, found a lockbox in the SUV, inside NDAs, contractor emails, HOA rule rigging notes. My name is underlined twice. I handed it to Jensen. Charges piled up. Fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy. Deputies arrested her the next day. Neighbors watched as she was escorted to a patrol car, neck brace and all. At trial, Linda's theatrics flopped. Tears and trembling voice couldn't hide the truth. The judge ruled $30,000 in restitution, a 10-year HOA ban, 120 hours of community service. No jail, but the humiliation was punishment enough. Teens started saying, "Don't pull a Linda." Memes of her SUV on Vern's trailer flooded the internet. Weeks later, I saw her trimming hedges in a neon vest. Sunglasses masked her shame. I handed her a water bottle. "Hot morning, hydrate." She mumbled, "Thanks." That was it. The HOA reformed. Marvin took over. I got back to my boat project. Vern sent me photos of the tow job, joking about collecting HOA leaders. It started with a key Linda shouldn't have had. A violation she thought she'd get away with. But people get tired of being pushed. Linda didn't just lose her SUV or her power. She lost the trust of everyone who ever tolerated her. And for someone who lived for control, that was the cruelest sentence of all. As news of the charges spread, Linda's reputation took a significant hit. Once viewed as a strong-willed member of the neighborhood, she now faced the scorn of those who had supported her in the past. The fallout was palpable, with whispers of her misconduct echoing through the streets. Social gatherings that once included her became tense, as residents chose to distance themselves from her. The community's solidarity against her actions was a powerful force, as we banded together to uphold our values of respect and accountability. Linda's isolation deepened, and I felt a sense of vindication, knowing that our collective stand had not only exposed her misconduct, but also strengthened the bonds among neighbors who sought to protect our shared space. My journey began with a simple dispute over property rights, which escalated into a dramatic confrontation with Linda, revealing the deep-seated issues within our community. As I rallied support through social media, the community united, demonstrating the power of collective action against perceived wrongdoing. The involvement of law enforcement in the subsequent HOA meeting underscored the necessity of accountability, ultimately leading to consequences for Linda's actions. It serves as a reminder that when individuals come together to challenge entitlement, they can foster a sense of equity and belonging. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and justice. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable insights and stories that resonate with homeowners everywhere. Thank you for watching Work Story, and see you in the next one.